Hello and welcome to Galata Plus. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Puru, which is on Sony Live. The film stars Mammootty and Parvati and has been directed by a first-timer named Rathina. This is a fascinating film. In an early scene, a young boy reads aloud pages from a textbook. These pages are about the toilet cleaning community and how Gandhiji opposed this. So we were talking about many years ago. But many decades later, little seems to have changed. Some people from these communities may not be actually cleaning toilets anymore, but in the minds of the dominant castes, they might as well be doing that thing. Mammootty's sister Parvati has married one such man, and Mammootty's every body cell screams in disgust that his Brahmin house, his Brahmin family has been polluted by a toilet cleaner. Can you see body cells scream on screen? This great actor proves that you can. Internalized emotion is the most difficult to externalize in front of a camera, and Mammootty does this consistently in this film and extraordinarily. His eyes, his clenched jaw, his posture, everything recoils from the pollution brought into the family by his sister. The little boy reading the textbook, remember I told you about him, he's Mammootty's son. Rathina shoots their scenes very formally with almost static frames that reflect their robotic relationship. Outside this house, the cameras move free-flowing. The jarring visual juxtapositions and what they imply made me recall the weird films of Yorgos Lanthimos. Just wait till you see the morbid video the father and son watch repeatedly. Mammootty teaches his son to share, but he also teaches the boy not to take what they give. This may be the first film about caste in India where a man from a dominant caste is depicted as a victim. At least he considers himself a victim thanks to his sister who has moved into the same building with her husband. Now, Mammootty's victimhood is literalized by the fact that someone seems to be trying to kill him. Naturally, this is what Mammootty thinks. Who else could it be but his brother-in-law, the man from the oppressed caste who has moved into the same building, thus transcending class barriers, and has also transcended caste barriers by becoming a decorated playwright. The film is bookended by stage performances that lead us into the narrative and lead us out of the narrative. And Jakes Bejoy's unobtrusive score is just perfect. He does not need to pile on the strings because Mammootty's nerves are already jangling with tension. As a side note, even the music Mammootty listens to, the music that he uses to relax, is Carnatic music, traditionally associated with dominant castes. Now, his son wants to be freer. He wants to play with other children, no matter what their caste or class. But Mammootty controls the boy with the force that still seeks to keep social structures intact. And is he really being attacked by someone? Or are these hallucinations brought on by his sense of victimhood due to social order that is no longer what it was, at least in the bigger towns and cities? Rathina has created a remarkable protagonist played by a remarkable actor on whom you can project the root cause of every social evil. She has a terrific sense of composition. Teni Iswar is a superb cinematographer, and the film makes every shot count. When Mammootty fixes a big bolt on his door, it feels like he'd rather live in isolation than face this changing society again. But the writing does not match up. There is a beautiful scene where Mammootty tells his son that he did not remarry after his wife died because he wanted his whole life to revolve around the little boy. Mammootty thus comes across as a fully formed flesh and blood character. He is both good and evil. But the excessive focus on the protagonist leaves the other characters stranded. Would Parvati not feel the faintest bit of apprehension about meeting her brother again? Would her husband not feel the least bit wary about Mammootty? Yes, you could interpret this in the larger sense that the man or anyone from the oppressed caste does not need to live in fear anymore. But films are about particular characters and particular situations, and I was never convinced about the relationship triangle formed between these three. As for the ending, it is a major disappointment. Maybe Ratina wanted to echo the play inside her film with a stage device, the Deus Ex Machina, the thing that comes almost out of nowhere and brings the story to an end. But again, this is not convincing, especially when you think back about some very specific things that have happened with Mammootty. It's perhaps best to read the film as an allegory, given the title Puru, which means worm, and which plays a major role in the play within the film. The worm destroys a mighty king, but even this reading falls apart when we see what happens to Parvati and her husband. Now for Ratina, Puru is a rock-solid debut, but by focusing on its protagonist, that is the dominant cast character, the film inadvertently reduces the others to lesser people lower down in the caste, as in caste hierarchy. The subtle message of equality would have come across stronger had everyone been equal. So that's it about Puru. If you like this video, do subscribe to Galata Plus and see you soon at the movies.